Poly family, and welcome to yet another episode of Rooted Conversations with Gogo Wistembu. I'm Khotatso Klope, also known as Gogo Wistembu, and on this podcast, we speak all things spirituality, heritage, family dynamics, polygyny, health, wealth, and legacy building within polygamous families. Every man, and I say every man with cautious, but if not all men want to be a polygamist, they want to be in polygamy, they want to have more than one wife. But we keep on saying that polygamy isn't for every man. It is a calling, right? Only those that are called to be in a polygamous marriage will successfully run it. Now, there's that big question. What can you expect if you are a man who wants to build a polygamous family? Today, I have invited a guest, Ntate Tato Sello, who will introduce himself, a polygamist, and those questions that you might have. He will cover what you can expect, and hopefully he can also go into his journey onto polygamy. Ntate Sello, thank you so much for coming through. Please introduce yourself as you would.
My pleasure, Coco. So I go by the name of Tato, surname Sello. I'm a father, a scientist by profession, a polygamist. I don't have much actually in my forte, but majority of my life I've spent in doing science and now trying to incorporate spirituality and science together.
Okay, interesting.
So trying to explain it from a science perspective. I think that's
interesting.
one thing that
Wow.
that's one thing that's missing, that I found missing.
I understand science and spirituality, but what does a scientist have to do with polygamy?
So it's a good question. I think I never asked to be in this polygamy thing, if I have to call it that.
Yeah.
And by the way, scientists, facts, right?
Yes,
So before
exactly.
polygamy started, spirituality. So
Yes.
I had to literally do 180, get to understand what spirituality is.
Yeah.
And as we both know, sometimes facts and natural phenomena does not actually apply in the spirit.
Absolutely.
So after that 180 degrees, then that's where now polygamy was introduced as part of the package of spirituality.
Okay.
So by me having to accept Musebetsi wa Baholo, part of the package then was that I also accept polygamy as a journey.
So you're called now to be a healer, and polygamy becomes part of this journey.
Correct.
Whew, a whole scientist.
Yes. So a guy that was supposedly for facts.
Yes, is now for what? And then how are you then reconciling your scientist hat and facts to now the reality of spirituality and now polygamy?
So now, it's a good question. So I kind of had to do it in phases. I think the first phase was me having to ask the difficult questions of exactly what is it that I am here for. So
The famous question, why am I here on
why
earth?
are you here on earth? What's your purpose?
Yes.
And that was, I think, answered in 2014 when for the first time I had to actually consider that spirituality actually does exist.
Ooh, what happened?
ZCC Church.
My church. Okay.
So called by Lebone, Sia.
Yes.
And in that period, I was praying a lot and asking a lot of questions. And the answer that I got was, the very questions that you're asking, you will find answers. But it is not yet time for you to get the answers.
How they speak in
Yes.
in codes. Okay.
So, and then beyond that point, of course, I was doing the sciences, the studies and my work. And then I met, or rather, my mother actually took me to Muprofet, Koko Mankosi. And she actually was the one that turned everything around. So so my first consultation with her was, she was saying things that had not happened.
Okay.
And at the end of the consultation, so it was 3 parts. She told me my past for, I suppose, validation.
Okay.
And then the present, and then what is going to happen in the future.
Interesting.
Right. So now, then she normally said at the end of the consultation, "Uphile,"
Yeah.
Uphile. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry
live
about
your
what I
life.
just said.
Okay, all right.
So then things started happening exactly how she had said them. So now this is 2013, 2014. So slowly but surely I warmed up to the idea that, okay, this particular Coco, not everybody, but this particular
one,
Coco
yeah, okay.
is able to see and tell me things that come true.
Okay.
Then I started warming up.
Okay.
I had 10, 11 years relationship. Just before she passed on, she then, revealed everything in terms of me having to have a gift and the polygamy. And by the way, the polygamy started by Mamkulu finding out about Mamncane.
Okay.
And then she then decided to go tell Gogo.
Okay, so now, hang on. So you have Mamkulu, who you've been married for about 10 to 11 years at that time?
No.
Okay.
We married just a couple of years. I'm not sure about the times, but I think it was 2015, 2017.
2017,
Something
okay.
like that, yeah.
Right, yes.
So it was just a year or two.
After the marriage?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So then she finds out that there's this other lady, Mamncane.
Okay, all right.
And negejola,
Yeah.
and I couldn't understand why I was actually
Having the affair.
correct.
Yeah.
Right. So, no, affairs before Mamncane.
You used to have affairs even before that?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So
okay.
now we get to the point that Mamncane, and then she finds out.
Okay.
So now she decides she wants to go to tell Mamkosi.
Okay.
Then in the process of us being with Mamkosi at the time, consulting, so she finishes the consultation and then she asks the question, okay, so why Otswenya Msaiduaha? Why are you bothering your wife? And then the wife mentioned that I was cheating, and then she also mentioned that give at last tip.
Okay.
I am for polygamy. Then Gogo's mood for the first time in about 14 years changed.
Yeah.
So it was the first consultation that for the first time I actually saw Gogo being serious.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when everything got revealed. So my father's side was quiet for some time, but on that day, the Mkulu that I am now, took his gift, he's the one that came through, and everything just went south from there. And I say south because I wasn't expecting it. Yes,
Yeah.
I wanted polygamy,
Yes.
but I never knew what to expect because that was not part of the plan, I thought I want polygamy, I will get it.
Yeah.
And then all is happy.
So what's changing in that consultation particularly now is what are they telling you that you are now believing that this is happening as a reality?
So now remember, from a science point of view, facts. So I built a relationship with this Gogo for 14 years.
Yes.
So she's proven that she is telling the truth all the time.
Yes.
Correct. So that's point number one. Point
Yeah.
number two, because of my relationship with her and what was being revealed at the time, I had no reason to doubt Gogo.
Yes. Yes.
So now that's the second point. The third point is that even though that was said, it was not my expectation at the time to hear those words. And more especially for Mamkulu, because Mamkulu also thought by her telling Gogo will reprimand me and then we will be okay.
Yes.
Only to be told that it's his journey.
He's supposed to be
And
having...
he's late.
Ooh.
So everything is late. I'm late for the calling itself.
Yes.
I'm late for that too. So everything was actually almost had gone to shambles because of that.
Sure. So now it was urgent.
Yes,
It
so
needed
now
to be taken.
now it was urgent.
Okay.
But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, how is it that it's urgent now that Mamncane is in the picture? In particular, this Mamncane.
Because you have been having affairs before that,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And Mankosi has always been there as well.
Correct. So now, next step after that was me having to accept the gifts. Next step after that was, because I'm not able to confirm that this mamngane is actually the mamngane, then I took mamngane to Mamkosi.
Okay.
Then that's when Mamkosi said to me that you knew all along that this is the person that was supposed to be here.
Whew.
So you just wasted your
You
time.
just
and
was,
petrol.
my goodness.
And that's where the whole polygamy thing
Have started, right? Let's speak expectations.
Yes.
There's a guy out there who knows that he has to take polygamy. He used to be a scientist. He used to be a pastor, or he still is a pastor. He is, Christian. He doesn't believe in spirituality. He doesn't believe in polygamy, but he can see that his life is now turning upside down. And for the first time, maybe he is brave enough to say, I am doing this. What can he expect?
Yeah. Okay. So I will answer this in twofold. It will be from my experience,
Yes.
and just also the general.
Okay.
I think we all need to understand as men that you can either introduce polygamy before your marriage,
Okay.
which normally doesn't happen, by the way.
Okay. Would be
And
nice
it
if
would
they
be
did,
nice, yeah,
but it's not that easy.
It's not normally the case.
Yes.
Or then it is after marriage.
Okay.
Right. So now the first one I'm not going to touch, because I think the second one is important.
Okay.
So you are married, yeah, you have a wife, you have a family, and you now are going into a point where you need to introduce polygamy.
Okay. Yes.
First things first, as much as I would like to be all marshmallowy about it,
Okay.
I'm just going to hit it
Please
hard,
say
right?
just as it is. Yeah.
You need to, as a man, accept that there is a possibility that your wife might leave you.
Yeah. A high chance that she may leave the marriage. Divorce.
Yes, divorce. Correct. And maybe also the possibility of a full-on separation without the possibility of you guys making things up.
Okay.
So we need to accept that.
Right.
Okay. Simply because you are changing now the status quo. She was the only woman.
Yes.
And now you are actually telling her that she's going to share you with another woman. Right.
Right.
Then from there on, there are phases. So now you've introduced the polygamy. Certainly sure at the time, the man has not yet prepared himself.
Yes.
Right. So now the expectation is it is going to be difficult. It cannot, the fact that you did not prepare and you're introducing this into the family, it's going to be difficult for everybody.
You included.
But as a man, your expectation then has to be that there's a possibility of that happening. There's a possibility of everything falling apart, but you are then responsible to carry it through.
Okay.
From the time you introduce the polygamy to the time or the point where the polygamy is set.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So that's the first expectation. Second expectation is that it is going to also be difficult for not only Mamkulu, but for Mamncane as
Okay.
well.
Yes.
Right. So you need to then manage what Mamkulu is going through, as much as it's her journey, but you need to manage it as a man.
Okay.
But also for Mamncane as well.
Okay, so how do you manage Mamkulu? Now, Mamkulu is feeling betrayed. Mamkulu is feeling like, she's grieving the loss of her monogamous marriage with you bringing in a second wife. That means she is inadequate. She's no longer as beautiful. Maybe it's because she had so many children and her body has changed. That's why you want another woman. How do you manage that?
Yeah, and so managing is one assurance. So
Assurance?
you need to assure Mamkulu that this is not about her. It's not about the physical. It's not about her appearance. It's not about that she gained weight or whatever the reason is. You married her because it goes beyond that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you need to make sure that Mamkulu is assured, make sure that Mamkulu is protected.
Yes.
And understand that Mamkulu is going to go through hard phases.
Yeah.
That
I call them the 6.5 stages it's like a grieving process, right?
Yes.
You will go through as if you've just lost the love of your life. So those that have been through sessions with me know exactly that, or those that follow me, yeah.
Yes.
So you still go through your disbelief, you're going through a shock of your marriage is going into a change, and then with seeing him, acting towards polygamy, then you go through the denial stage, then you go through the anger stage, then you go through your fight or flight realization before you can get to acceptance, which takes about 5 years.
Yeah, and I remember we had a debate about that, but yeah,
We can reduce it to 3 years, but
Yes.
nothing less than that.
Correct. Yes. And as a man, then your responsibility is you need to be there in all the stages. You know, you can't let her be, because part reason why I say this is that in my experience, as much as me and Mam Kulu eventually got a divorce, when I was thinking about it, I thought perhaps maybe the points where I was a little bit harsh.
Okay.
Yes, I need to push the point of having to create this polygamy. But I need to also understand that she was going through her grieving process.
Correct now. But was the divorce to dissolve the civil marriage into customary, or were you divorcing because you feel like I can't do this anymore? What was the reason?
We were actually divorcing for the divorcing, not necessarily for the changing to the customary.
After how many years of trying to build polygamy did you now go, this is it, I'm divorcing?
It was just, I think, 2 years. It's fine. But it was I think it was a bit early in a sense that when she found out, then I tried to push the polygamy thing too quickly.
Yeah, yes. That's the biggest mistake.
Yes.
Did you make them meet at a restaurant, meet each other?
Something like that, yeah.
Within how many months or a year?
Within not more than 12 months had passed.
So the premature introduction, which I always advise against.
Correct.
And that then exacerbated her to feel like, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
Because I think also it was the fact that she had been saying, okay, I'm okay. I've accepted my reality.
Oh, okay.
And then I, took that and thought, okay, then I will push this thing until a point where I am satisfied.
Oh, okay.
And now that situation then exacerbated the whole life, because when reality actually hit, then everything started.
Exactly.
And it felt as if, moving 10 steps forward and 18 steps back.
Correct.
Right. So now we got to a point where, I moved out of the house
what is the reason for moving out of the house? Are you being disrespected, or are you being impatient that things aren't happening in your pace?
No, it was the disrespect.
Okay, what was the disrespect? Was she shouting at you?
Yeah,
what was she saying?
Shouting. I think the last fight we were arguing. The argument started and Magngane was there.
Okay.
And she went out, she was shouting, and she hit the car door with her hand.
Yeah, yes.
But in that confrontational tone.
Yes.
And I thought, no, I'm not.
She's psycho. I'm not gonna do this. The disrespect. Yeah.
So I then decided to leave the house, and I think in a space of 3 months, that's when she served me with divorce papers.
Oh, because you moved out of the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think 6 months down the line, something to that effect, and then we had a talk, and then she said I need to come back home.
Okay.
And then that's when I think the whole thing then started rolling again. But and at the time, Mamngane was pregnant.
Ooh.
So now imagine, I'm now with Mamngane and I have to kind of leave and then go back to the house.
Yeah. And she's thinking that, okay, they're divorcing.
Correct.
Did you tell, sorry, before you finish that sentence, and was Mamngane aware that she's coming into polygamy, not to be the only one?
No, she was aware. But
Okay.
now that the divorce was happening, I'm sure there's a point where she thought, oh, okay.
I'm going to be the only one, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
But in any case, went back, she was pregnant. She wasn't happy about it that much, but it had to happen, right? In my head, I thought it had to happen. So fast forward, we then, and by the way, the divorce at that time was not finalized. It was in process.
Yes.
But because it was in process, then I thought we might as well finalize it because I am still for polygamy.
In any way,
In
yes.
any case,
And you
so
need to
we-
dissolve the civil marriage.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. So then we continued with that. We then tried to amend things, and then took a while again. Took about a year or two before we actually got to where it is now.
Okay. So how were you preparing the incoming wife then?
Yes. In all honesty, there was really no preparation, which then begs the question. You know, was I not aware if ever they were fine or not during the period of her having to come in, also with Mamkulu, her having to accept. So we now are talking about it. We now are having discussions about it. And we actually realized that we were all not prepared.
Yes.
Yes.
You included.
Me included, yeah. Because there are, phases that I actually had to go through. I had to accept, for the longest time, I struggled with actually accepting that I'm in polygamy.
Okay.
Right? And for the simple reason that it doesn't work the same when it's the two of you.
Okay.
And the third person brings another dynamic.
Yes.
And the dynamic, I really struggled a bit to actually grasp the idea that I am dealing with two women and they are different.
Yes.
And I need to treat them as individuals as much as we are a collective.
Yes.
So preparing Mamkulu then had to involve having to go to counseling, fixing us first, having conversation. I mean, like really uncomfortable conversation.
Okay.
And having to suss out, what is this all about? What it means for the children.
Yes.
Vision and mission, where do we see ourselves in 5-10 years time?
Yeah.
And how do we then execute it?
Yes. Would you say that you were more supportive, as in present in the journey of your first wife accepting polygamy, or did she do more work emotionally and you were just watching?
Yeah.
Who did most of the work? Let's speak about 100%. How much of the percentage of healing and accepting the journey did she put, and you?
I think she had done most of the work herself.
Okay.
I came in at a later stage because remember, at some point, we were not even talking to each other, or the minute we start talking, it's an argument.
Okay.
So then she went and fixed that first.
Okay.
Then from there, and it took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then from there, we then started having conversation. And I think because I had seen her effort in trying to sort herself out, I then was encouraged also to be part of the journey, her journey.
Sure. Yeah.
And her acceptance literally meant we went as far as going to church, because there's St. John's in particular.
Okay.
And needed to get help there.
Oh, okay.
So to align a couple of things that were completely misaligned. But the journey then got better as we went along, and I could actually see her acceptance, which was really fulfilling for me.
Sure.
To a point where I know what I put her through. I don't take away from that, but also her growth.
Okay.
Seeing her accept it, seeing her embrace it, seeing her change the way she thinks about it. But that took a while.
Yeah.
And parallel to that, it's more or less what's happening Kamamncane just now.
Okay.
We had to also go to counseling
Okay.
because there were other things that were not fixed from the past.
Yeah.
But also, she has grown from strength to strength.
Yeah. What would you say needs to be highlighted with Mamncane's journey as an aspiring polygamist?
Oh yeah, she just Mamncane in general.
Yeah, Mamncane,
I've
yeah.
taken
Okay.
from what I've seen from her. It's the issue of at least Diana, she was not those ones, but the ones that think that maybe they're coming in to kick
Replace.
out, to replace Mamkhulu.
Yeah.
But it was also the acceptance, the idea of having to accept the position. And when I mean position, I understand, and we'll talk about equality, but equality in this sense is very blurred if you don't clear it out as a man. But her taking the position of mamncane, and maybe perhaps understanding also the position of mamncane is what came through. Because I think bo mamncane, when they come in and try to compete le mamkhulu, and more especially not understanding that me and mamkhulu had like 10-15 years of this going on, and then you come in and then you want to have the same things or be treated the same way, it's not going to fly. And for the simple reason that the way I normally say is that mamkhulu will always be the one after me. So if I'm off, she takes over. If she's off, you take over. You understand?
Hierarchy.
Yeah. So now that mamkhulu is in hospital, she has to take over.
Yes.
Anything and everything that goes in the household, the full household, I hold her responsible.
Yes.
That's how I.
So are you saying she came in prepared for you particularly? She came in prepared that she's going to be a second wife and she understands she isn't there to replace.
Correct.
But how did you support Mamncane in this?
So
are you saying she was just ready?
No,
there was no work that you needed to do?
Also conversation. We had lots of conversation.
You told her from day one when you met her that, listen, I've got a wife and kids and...
No, she actually knew that I had a wife. Because I met Mamncane before Mamkhulu.
Ooh, now that's a dynamic that a lot of my clients also go through.
I met Mamncane before Mamkhulu. Firstborn, Mamncane is older than all my kids.
Is this your firstborn?
No, this is my secondborn.
Okay.
So then I have a firstborn before this.
Not with Mamncane.
Not with Mamncane.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
So but you're saying your child with Mamncane is older than Mamkhulu's child?
Yes. All Mamkhulu's children. So I met Mamncane.
Yes.
Then we had
you
a baby.
You used to date.
Yes. For the longest time.
You used to date Mamncane.
Correct.
And then you married Mamkhulu now.
Correct.
That is a dynamic that most people can't fathom. The wives will panic when we realize that, oh, this is an ex. You're bringing back an ex.
Yes.
So you brought in an ex. Yeah. Was it easier because you've already dated her?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It's a totally different ball game. And I think that's another expectation that is flawed.
Yes.
Thinking that you're bringing somebody from previous and then you think everything will just be plug and play.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
No, it doesn't work that way.
And I think it makes it difficult because she used to be there first and she think, I'm the Mamkhulu, you're supposed to treat us fairly. I used to be here before anyway, right?
Yeah.
So how do you then manage that expectation of I used to be here first, plus she's never been in polygamy nonetheless? How do you then support her?
So it's through conversation. And I think I never had an issue of her maybe stipulating outright or no, I was here before and now I want to be Mamkhulu. No. I don't think she was for that, but I think it made it easier because she understood that I was married already.
Yes.
And I wanted her to be part of the family. And because I was, like I said, I had affairs before, her time was actually one that was most clear as compared to my other relationships. Okay. So now it was much easier for me to actually talk about her as Mamncane, but also she understood right from the beginning that this is the situation and this is how it's going to play out.
Sure. Oh my God, this Jenny, you're speaking there, and I've got so many questions at the same time, and I understand the dynamic of polygamy as a polygamy counselor, but I'm just trying to think from an audience point of view, what questions would they want to hear, right? But in hindsight, you leaving your home when you and Mamkhulu were fighting, do you think that was a good move? To that man who is going through the journey of polygamy and he's dealing with the disrespect, should he leave or should he stay in there? Because sometimes as a man, I'm sure you feel like, you can shake and say, no, man, I'm the man of the house regardless of.
I don't know, Coco. Maybe again, I need to point this out. men normally we rakhotlella, we take a lot, right? But there's a point where it becomes it starts messing up with your mental state.
Yes, it does. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So-
you even feel like you can just shake this person and say, I do not need to take this disrespect, even though I brought polygamy onto you.
And,
right.
and part of, when I advise men, I always tell them, my tolerance is not the same as yours.
Correct.
And you probably can tolerate more than me, but you need to be aware of where you need to draw a line at some point.
Okay.
And by drawing a line does not necessarily mean that you don't love Mamkulu.
Okay.
But there's elements within this whole framework that you cannot accept.
Okay, but drawing the line also depends on timeline. How long
Yes.
has this been happening? So it's only 8 months and you already want to leave the home because uyakudelela.
Correct. And I think that's where normally the blurriness of this whole entire setup
Because
comes
it's
in.
more ego now. You're protecting ego
Yes,
than dealing
yeah.
with the dynamic you've just brought into the marriage.
Correct. But Gogo, also we need to also understand that like I said, tolerance level is not the same. But
Okay.
you also need to accept as a man that the expectation is such that Mamkulu will flip. Mamkulu will, the emotions have to come out. It's part of the journey.
Okay.
You just have to embrace the fact that that is going to
And
happen.
see through, like you said.
And see through
That's what
it.
you said. From
Yes.
beginning to end,
Correct.
it's going to be difficult.
Yes.
But you must do beginning and you must see it through. So you
yes.
then giving up in between and feeling like, okay, maybe it would be easier if she leaves and I take a second wife. Most men think that. I'll take the second, okay?
Or that's option number one.
Okay.
Option number two is maybe having to leave this whole polygamy thing because of Mamkulu's, behavior.
State of mind
State
as
of
well.
mind,
And
yes.
you do feel guilty that, maybe I should just leave this thing.
Yes.
Maybe it's promiscuity. Now society comes in and you're like, what will people think after this? I'm a home wrecker. You being the man. You've wrecked your home.
And what is nice is that after me having to fight Le Mamkulu and family got involved and when we were fixing things, I had to go back. That's the protection part. I went back to my family and said, this is my wife.
Okay.
I am fixing things with her.
Okay.
And I appreciate your support
Good.
during difficult times, but I will fix things with my wife.
Good.
Yeah.
You went to your family.
I went to and then we went to her
Her
family.
family. Okay,
And then I
good.
told them that, okay, this is what's happening. And we decided that we're going to fix things. So I had to be responsible for having to lead that process.
Okay.
That's seeing things through. Because at times it becomes difficult. And yes, you have to have difficult conversations with people that you might think that you might not have these conversations with.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of men would say, yeah, after this, I can't even sit le babazala.
Yeah.
And those are the people that you need to actually go and sit down with them and exactly.
Face them right head on.
Correct.
Okay. What would you say to that man who feels, no man, it's too much. My tolerance, I can't take it. I've given her enough time. I 8 months or 1 year or 2 years. I've given it enough time. I'm going to divorce her and then I'm going to take Mamncane to make her Mamkulu and then the next person will join in. It will be seamless.
It really, really, you need to think hard about it. You need to think, this thing is not one-dimensional. It's you having caused Mamkulu to go through this process, these phases that we're talking about, and also the time frame that you introduce this, and giving it time to actually marinate, if I have to call it.
Yes.
This,
Okay. Yes.
So it shouldn't be that maybe 8 months within the process, then you give up and say, I'm going to divorce. Yes, it's tough. And some Mamkulus are much harder than others.
Yeah.
But it has to be as such that if you introduce it in the house that you want polygamy, your expectation must be that everything will fall flat on the floor. Worst case scenario.
Yes.
So that you are able then to ready yourself. And when I say ready yourself, I mean ready yourself emotionally, ready yourself for being hit back, ready yourself for
It's war, basically.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
war.
Yeah, it's war. And this war will last a minimum of 3 years.
They are. Now you come. You see, I told you. You see where my 5 years is coming from, right?
A minimum of 3 years.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, what is the biggest mistake an aspiring polygamist must avoid? Never, ever. Whatever you do, do not.
Okay. Biggest mistake is having to open the door, walking through the door, and leaving that door open.
Okay.
In other words, I mean, one of the things that I've seen in my experiences of helping aspiring polygamists is that they are a little bit naive to think that this process is a quick fix. I started now, 5 months later, it's done.
Yeah.
So part of my prerequisite or requirements is that, one, you have to accept that your wife may leave you. That's the first one.
Yes.
And secondly, when we start the journey, we see it through.
Okay.
So the door that you walked in with, we lock, we throw the key as far away as possible,
okay,
and we strive to go through the other door.
Okay.
Right. So that's the mistake that they do. Most of them actually go in through that door. Midway, they go back. And that creates a lot of, it creates a mess because
so in other way,
your wife firstly cannot trust that you can carry things through.
Yes,
that's
and you're sending the wrong message.
You are sending the wrong message.
You're giving up.
Yes. And that's one of the major mistakes that men do. If you are going to start polygamy, you need to also prepare yourself basically for the worst. That's the hardship that you need to endure, and you need to accept it right from the beginning.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. When do we marry the second wife within this journey? We are still trying to convince Mam Kulu. When is the right time, more or less, to marry Mam Ngani?
I would say, I know maybe, that this can be debated and people will say it's different people and they take things differently. But I would think from the point of introduction, again, minimum 3 years.
Okay.
Not. It has to be 3 years, and then we can think of marriage.
Okay.
Because there's a number of things that I think also men make mistake of. We know Mam Ngani because I'm dealing with Mam Ngani.
Yes.
But you don't know Mam Ngani within the space of the collective.
Correct. That's it. Exactly. And you need to still bring her in and see how she reacts to the fire that we are all trying to put out.
Yes.
Absolutely. So 3 years minimum, right?
Yes.
Can you have children before that? Is it advisable?
No, I don't think it is advisable. I don't think it is advisable, but that's an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Normally it doesn't work that way, and I accept that.
There are men who say to the incoming wife, listen, have a child first with me. Because it's going to be easier when I introduce you to the wife because you already have my child. So is that a strategy?
Yes, it is a strategy that most men are talking about and most men are doing, but I don't think it's correct.
That's not a plan.
You are actually self-sabotaging if you're thinking about it. You want, and maybe that now you're asking it, I'm thinking about something else. So you want Mamkulu to not only accept polygamy, but accept the fact that a child was made before even polygamy was introduced.
Correct.
So then polygamy itself is not something Mamkulu is going to entertain.
You cheated first,
yes,
and then you had a child, and now you're talking to me about polygamy, and you're saying it's a calling.
So you see, that's step 3. You're still dealing with cheating and making a child outside before even introducing polygamy.
Yeah.
So it's something that now, like Kontlung, we're talking about number 3, right?
Yes. You're taking the wife number 3.
No, I know it's still
okay.
but the whole,
I hear probably someone is panicking. My God, he's taking a third wife. Men are selfish.
And they asked after the discussion of how the rules of engagement, if I have to call it.
Yeah.
And then Mam Ngani asked me, Oteng number 3. And I'm like, no, she's not there.
She should have said, "Is number 3 coming?"
Yeah, no,
Is-
and I think she had an idea of maybe I'm already seeing someone.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And I said, no, I'm not.
Okay.
And for a while, she didn't believe me, but eventually she got to understand, no, there isn't anybody. Because I don't want to be repeating the previous mistakes.
Good for you.
So
Okay.
this time I want to do it properly.
Okay. Okay. Well done. So, Mamkulu Mamngani, third wife is coming. He wants to do it properly. That's the only difference. My goodness. Oh, I have so many questions, but thank you so much for opening up. I think this is a dynamic that a lot of people are struggling with. The informal polygamy. Yeah, a lot of men are polygamous informally than formally. What sets a polygamist apart from a polygamist wannabe or a serial cheater? Because there's an argument that, yeah, but you're still gonna cheat anyway, even if you've married 2 women. So what sets apart a polygamist, a real one, apart from the polygamist wannabe, apart from serial cheaters?
True intention.
True intention. Okay.
I think that's how I would describe it. If a polygamist wants to create a family formally, right? So I want to create a family with a woman. It means that I need to then take this woman under my wing. And then by us having to then becoming, or say, an aspiring family, let me just put it that way, then the rules of the game change. But we cannot get to that point before I show you my intentions to say, this is the direction that I want to take, and this is my goal with you and what we want to create. So now imagine I do that with Mamkulu, and then I go outside and say, I have somebody else, but I don't follow the same principles that I did with Umamkulu. Then it's not polygamy. It's something else.
Okay.
And simply because if I am a polygamist, it's something that I really want to do, the very principle that I started with Mamkulu and implementing for me to create the family and the structure that I have with Mamkulu is exactly the same principle that I would apply Lemamnani, and the third one, and the fourth one.
Okay.
And of course, within the framework of, she has to understand that there's a Mamkulu, there's a hierarchy that needs to be respected, but the principle has to be the same. So if I make promises and I don't carry them through, then that's not polygamy. That's completely something else. Because if we think about it, the main, we can put many reasons why polygamy is done.
Yeah.
But main reason for polygamy is that family has to grow.
Yep.
Full stop.
Yeah. And in unity.
And in unity, yes. Most importantly so.
Yeah. Okay, so you gave this scenario that when you are a polygamist, you must come through this door and you must lock it behind you, go through the other doors, and regardless of how hard it gets, never go back, right?
Yes.
When is it justifiable when you feel like, you know what, maybe you need to go back to that door? When is it justifiable when a man really gives up and says, you know what, but Mamkulu is not coming to the party. I have tried my best. My tolerance level, I've given it a chance. Timelines, I've given it a chance. It's been 5 years. It's been 7 years. So when is it justifiable for him to walk away?
Yeah, no, I can't. That's a very difficult question.
It's a difficult question, yeah.
It's a difficult. But look, I mean, as a leader of the family, and one that gives direction, it becomes difficult again to be. Let's put a scenario: 7 years,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
We've been talking the same thing for 7 years, and you're not coming to the party. So the next question to ask yourself is: do I still want to carry this through?
Yeah.
And in which case, then you need to accept that perhaps then the best possible thing to do for you to be able to do it
Yeah.
is separating with your wife.
Yeah.
Right. It's not ideal
not
again,
ideal,
but
okay.
it's necessary for you to carry the mission through till the end.
Okay, yes,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and secondly
Yeah.
is actually what you're describing is saying, okay, Mam Kulu is not coming to the party, and I don't see myself living without her,
Yeah.
and I will then stop everything. Which, by the way, again, I'm very reluctant for one to do that, but
Yeah, giving up and saying, okay, no, maybe not polygamy. Maybe I have to sacrifice myself and stay with her as a monogamist when
Yes.
you are a polygamist. I don't even see how that's gonna work,
You
right?
see,
This
that's-
is
that's-
you're gonna continue cheating then. So
Correct.
you're gonna be formally a monogamist while still living a polygamist, and then you're going to be classified as a polygamist wannabe and a serial cheater.
which is, by the way, what is happening just generally
Yes.
in public. People are maybe borderline scared. Let me just say scared.
Yeah.
We men are scared of their wives.
Are they scared, or are they scared of losing everything they've built with this woman over these years? We've made mistakes of being in community of property, and this man has worked. Is he scared of losing everything he's built, or is scared of the wife?
But Goko, it's a package. Yeah, you see, but that's the problem I have with men in general. Is again, if you're going to start something of this nature, and again, that's why it's a calling.
Yes.
Because not many people survive in this. But
Correct.
if you're going to start this,
Yeah.
just understand what you are putting yourself into.
Okay.
And in my case, there were points where I wanted to give up.
Yeah.
You know, I
And all
wanted
men
to
go
give up.
through that stage
Yes,
of wanting to give
but
up. Yeah.
in the midst of giving up, there's going to be something that says, "No, you're okay. You're in the right stage.
Okay.
Just
Keep going.
keep going."
Keep going. But I like what you said. When you open that door, see it through, regardless of how difficult
Correct.
it is.
Yeah.
In closing, can a polygamist wannabe / serial cheater come right and become a polygamist?
I'm an example of that.
Which example are you? A serial cheater
No, not a
becoming a
serial cheater,
polygamist,
no,
or
not
a
a
polygamist
serial-
wannabe
serial-
becoming the
I
polygamist?
think serial cheaters have a psychological problem. But again,
Yeah.
it's either here or there. But a polygamist wanting to transition to being a polygamist, true. It's not unfortunate. Maybe it's fortunate for the upcoming generation that we actually had to go through what we went through so that we can have this information to share.
Okay.
Huh?
Yes.
So it should be easier in future.
Yes.
I have a
Hopefully.
hopefully. Yeah, but I have a theory that maybe the spirit world saw it fit for the reinstatement of polygamy. They understood that it is going to be difficult. They understood the challenges that were going to be faced.
Yeah.
Therefore, there needs to be a way to introduce this.
Yeah.
And maybe one of the ways is actually having to cheat.
Okay.
Not serial cheating, because
Yeah.
that's something else.
Yes.
But cheating to a point where you understand and accept that maybe the journey, the formal journey, has to be polygamy.
Cheating with the intention to be polygamous.
Yeah, we cheat not with the intention because we don't know. I mean, we don't cheat with the intention of polygamy. And I think that goes for most men. But for most men, again, it might be the way to actually get into polygamy.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I feel that majority of them don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be the responsibility that comes with it. But then again, we said what sets apart a serial cheater and a polygamist wannabe is the intention, right? We all know that once you choose the polygamous route, you must be ready financially, emotionally, spiritually, and so on. So it is a big responsibility.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you so
Definitely.
much for coming through. My goodness, I always wish we had so much time, but this won't be the last. Because I know that our community is a shy community. It's a community that's hidden out there. If we need to retouch conversations and topics from
for
different,
sure.
we will keep on doing it, even if
Yes,
it's the same faces.
Yeah.
But I thank you so much for sharing your journey.
No, thank you, Gogo. It's an honor. It's actually my first formal. turned down a lot of interviews before, but
Yes.
this is the first formal one because I think it's time.
You are
so-
at home. This is
Yes.
the right one. I'm honored as well for you to come through. I really appreciate it, especially because I know our journey is not easy. We are always being thrown at with the stigma. We are cheaters. We don't know our worth and all that. So we are trying to change mindset. So I appreciate you coming through. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Much appreciated.
And that's all we have for today. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate Ntate Sello, and we are here to change mindsets. So to you out there who's an aspiring polygamist, as you have heard it, it is not an easy journey. You have to be mentally prepared to see it through. Once you start, you have to go all the way through until the end. And if you would like us to support you, please reach out for a counseling session with myself, www.gogowistembu.co.za, or you can also find our numbers on the bio. And if you would like to also get a copy of my book, Isitembu, Sailing Through Polygamy, A Wife's Journey from Monogamy to Polygamy, you can also do so by contacting me via WhatsApp or via our emails. And that's all that we have today. Remember to embrace the wisdom of our ancestors and carry it with pride. Stay enlightened and stay rooted. Gogo is Tembu. Hello, polygamy.